Hey, good morning, guys. How's everybody doing today? And welcome to you guys that's joining us on YouTube. Looks like everything is connected over there. All right, so it looks like we do have some pretty good stocks on our watch list this morning. We've got I think at least one that's on earnings. I'm not got to look at the chart and see how good that looks. Roku, which made our day yesterday, so I'm not. We'll have to look to see what it has in store for us going forward. But this ORB pre-market scan, this is the one that I find most of the stocks that I trade at the open, the first part of the day, either for the opening range trade or for a trend continuation. And then, later on in the day, we have other scans that we look at, like reversal scans or the RSI extreme scan. I could potentially find some stocks there, or we're listening for breaking news as well. So any tradable event that comes after lunch, we're just kind of looking at. But here in the summertime, the volatility and the volume after lunch really die. And the opportunities are fewer and farther between, but in order to take advantage of them, you have to be engaged. You can't be semi-engaged in the market. You have to be engaged. So we try to keep our ears open throughout the day. All right, so let's take a look at GBX. I believe this one is on earnings. Yep, got a pretty decent gap down. Not quite hitting the 52-week low yet. So there's really a nice floor here around this 52-week low. We hit here 27.17, just above 27, and then finally we dipped down 26.94. So this is a pretty solid floor. And we're approaching this support here at 27.71. So the potential is there, but it's gonna have to have a lot of selling pressure to get through this. That's what we're gonna need. But it's worth putting on our watch. All right, so of course, Roku usually brings its own volatility with it. So we had a nice sell-off after market yesterday. A couple of points here. So we'll keep our eyes on this today and see if are we going to recover this or are we going to continue to sell off. And whenever I get this many lines on here, I just clear it and we start over again. I can't see all of that. So we just have to start over again. So it looks like we got down from this. We had a really nice window yesterday. Let's see, this is probably that if we get down this far, but just wanted to mark it. All right, 85.52 is the 50. I just want to make sure this is marked. Because it's kind of the range that we're going to be in right now. No, I don't want this here. Trying to remove this one. Why the hell? Yeah, that's the one I want removed. That's where it goes right there. All right. Yep, so we've got some nice windows to work in this. So with Roku, what I usually tend to have to do, like yesterday morning, we saw all that volatility. There was a lot of volatility, a lot of jumping around and everything. So we had to wait, and it did make a big run up and then a big sell-off. So I didn't really catch it until we kind of had a continuation to the downside, after it rejected the 200. And that is probably going to take the same type of patience in order for us to be able to do this. So I think that's what it's just gonna take the same patience. So we've got Roku. WDC snuck in here. Let me see what's up with it this morning. I don't see anything fresh this morning, but last night we did it we must have maybe some analyst upgrades. I don't see the news on it just yet. We can take a look at it and see. It's a pretty nice gap down here. And I guess it's reacting to It said how U.S. chip makers press Trump to ease exports control. But I don't see how that would cause it to gap down. But you never know. You know, it's not about how we interpret the news. It's how the market interprets the news. So you saying it received a downgrade? Oh, okay. So we'll go with that. So let's take a look at what we are working with this morning. So we've got the 200 here at 46.63. $46.63. The 20, 46. I mean the 50. I mean no, that's the 90. At well, where is it? I need to check it out. 46.40. 46.40. These may come into play today. These daily levels here. And I doubt if the 50 or the 20 is going to get involved in this. I doubt that. So let's see if I got all the levels marked in here. All right. So WDC, that makes the cut. RVLV, that one's a recent IPO, so I'm not messing with it. And AMRN, this one, it reported a guidance boost, revenue guidance boost.
Oh, wow.
So,
One of these is mine?
yeah.
Thank you.
So, that's in the playing field. Let's take a look at it. So, looks like we got a decent group of stocks here that we can possibly find a good opening range trade and then some continuation later on, as long as the market is receptive to it. All right. Give me 1 second. All right. So we've got, I think we've got four pretty good stocks to watch here so far: GBX, ROKU, WDC, and AMRN. I don't know if we'll see if anything pops up before the 9 o'clock deadline. If anything hits the scan after 9 o'clock, it's unless I just don't have any stocks to trade, I'm not going to put them on my watch. They may be secondary watches, but like yesterday, MU wasn't on our scan because MU has a higher float, so it's not going to hit my scan. But it was moving pre-market. It looked like it had a little bit of volatility in it, and so we put it on our secondary watch. So if it's set up for a secondary trade, I definitely would have taken it. But it didn't set up clean enough for me, so Roku was the only one. No, the micro account is not going to be traded until earnings starts kicking off. So I'm not, I put that on hold until we get some more activity. The volatility is too weak right now. We're not really getting the moves. So, instead of going through what I went through last year, I learned my lesson. So until we get, a good enough amount of money in there, we have to be really selective about when we trade. You got to be really smart about it. Like AMRN would have been a good one. Um, GBX might have been a good one. The problem is, it's gonna be hard to really get a good profit on it. I don't see it having big move potential, or to make a big enough move where trading 100 shares of it makes sense.
So what I'm doing is selecting all of the ones that say password.
Alright, so it doesn't look like anything else is ready to go here. You know, obviously this one, it's a 57-cent stock. Definitely not looking to trade it. This one has an ATR of like 3 cents or 4 cents. So people would get in that and be like, hmm.
Looks like it'll work.
Alright, so we the password change for the videos will take place today, so you should be getting an email a little bit later on with the new password for the videos. So look out for that. Alright, so it's 9 o'clock. We're gonna set this watch list. Alright, so it's posted, it's etched in stone. That is what we're watching today, guys. What the heck is wrong with this thing? So we're watching GBX, Roku, WDC, and AMRN. So I've got my watch list set.
You want me to go ahead and send you the password?
All right, so now what I'm doing is this last 30 minutes going into the open, I'm watching what each of these stocks are doing. I'm trying to. I'll start putting together plans in my head. Looking at the chart, thinking about good profit targets, depending on where it sets up, because you never know until it sets up, and you're able to almost pinpoint an entry. You really don't know where your profit targets are going to be, but you've got to pick them out ahead of time. You've got to be able to establish them before you get in a trade, because remember, you don't want to sit and start and have to think. Yeah, so you wanna think ahead, and then when you get in the trade, all you're doing is executing and hitting your targets. You have to be mechanical when you're trading like that. If not, you'll start thinking. When you do that, emotions come in, and you start convincing yourself that the stop you have is not in a good place and you need to move it. And that's when things start to unravel. That's kind of what I went through last week. On that one day that just kind of got away from me. I stopped. I started thinking after I got into the trade, and when it was going against me, instead of just stopping out, if I'd have stopped out of every trade like I was supposed to, I probably would have been green last week. So risk management is really what took me red. And all of that all of that centers around me thinking after I enter a trade, and trying to analyze stuff outside of the price action. I mean, I look at the price action, I'm watching. If I determine that a significant shift in momentum is coming, then yeah, that's going to trigger me to get out. But the thing is, you have to you have to be able to really read that and not get fooled so much. And these guys, these big fund traders, these big bank traders, with the AI that they're using, I mean, they're able to pretty much pick up on what we're doing very quickly. It seems like you may not think about it this way, but it's their job to manipulate us and get us to do what they want us to do, so that we can be on the opposite side of their trades. Because they don't make money unless we lose. If we're winning, if we're making money, it's coming from somebody's pocket. And if we're losing money, it's going into somebody's. So we could look at, I think back to the trade yesterday. The first trade we took out of the gate on, let me see, what was that? that was on. Let's see. Yeah, WDC. It's right here in my face. The trade that we took on WDC yesterday, it turned around in the middle of nowhere. You know, there was no significant pivot, nothing there. And it just turned around. It bounced there. And these guys know, you know, what we're looking for. It lost to 50, and they know we're looking for it to make a new low for us to trigger us to get in. And once it triggers, it started getting bought up. And so, of course, back above the 50, we're going to dump it. And it actually did it a couple more times before it started to sell off. And it made it to, you know, where I thought it was going to go. So that can get frustrating. But had I not managed my risk, you know, I might have ended up losing more. And then getting irritated with it. And start that downward spiral again. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. So this is usually the quiet time, the meditation time. Just kind of waiting, watching, trying to plan my moves. I don't see any significant movement in any of the stocks that we're watching right now. No significant movement. All right, I don't see anything. ADP is not on my scan. So for me, it's not something that I'm looking at. But let's see. ADP sounds like one of those chip makers. Or one of those technology stocks. Let me see what the chart looks like. Yeah, it's got a gap down. It's got some volume. So it may be good. I think it didn't hit my scan because it's over 150 bucks. I think that's why it didn't hit my scan. That's a payroll stock. I mean, they deal with payroll servicing. Yeah, automatic data processing. Okay, I got it. That makes sense. I thought it sounded like one of those technology stocks. Now, unfortunately, I can't play my music since I'm live streaming on YouTube. Every time I do it, I get
Copyright.
selling
Okay.
a copyright thing. I mean, they don't take down the video; they try to monetize it, and I don't like my videos being monetized. So I have to put my headphones on and listen to it. But I played for you guys the one that I had to adapt. You know, before I would start out with Justin Timberlake, I got that feeling. But after last week, you know, we had to transition to what's her name? I tell you, I'm bad with names now for some reason. I am bad with names. I know it's Ludacris and Carrie Underwood. The champion. So after last week, that's what I have to play every morning. Now I gotta get pumped up here. God dog it. This double live stream sometimes gets things messed up. Oh, you not? You got to share your songs with me, so I can listen to them. Oh no, that's the wrong account. Which I do need to. I may have to bail on this swing this morning. So I do need to log into it as well. All right, so got this Beasley.
We're low on the corn oil, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, wait, there's another one. Never mind.
Okay. So let's run through the list. GBX seems to be sitting on this 2771 support here. $27.71. And we got 27.17 up under it. And then we've got the 52-week low. At 26.94. I think it said 26.94. Yeah. So AMRN. Let's see where we are with it. $20.78. That's close enough. $21.95. It's close enough. And we got $19.39. That's close enough. Just 1 cent off is not bad. So we'll see what we got here. Got AMRN. Then we gotta look at Roku. Now Roku, I'm probably not gonna jump in out of the gate. 88.92. Probably not gonna jump in and out of the gate unless it looks promising. 88.92. These are the daily pivots that we've identified when we were vetting the stocks. When we were building a watch list and we were vetting the stocks, these are the levels that we identified. So I'm just transferring them from Thinkorswim. I'm just marking them on DOS. So I don't have anything around there. We are a little wide open here. Then we look at, let's see. What else we got? WDC is the last one. I got that feeling. Let's see, 28, no, 48.68 is where that level is. All right. Like I said, I don't really see a whole lot moving just yet. So we'll sit back and watch. And see where these puts us. See, Roku looks like it wants to sell off. So we'll see. We'll see, said the blind man. I don't like this so much short because of everything it's got to go through. It has to go through all of these moving averages, and there's only, maybe 25 cents there. You got, well, it's 40 cents here, but just I like it if it sets up long, but short's gonna be a struggle. But right now it's my primary watch. Let's see, AMRN. 3 minutes. Let's get ready to rock. I'm on both. Just depends on what the price action looks like. but we'll be talking through it. I don't like how the deviation bands has like squeezed. And I mean squeezed. Roku. They're gonna have to open up. It's gonna need some volume, and that thing's gonna have to open up. Let's rock and roll. Selena. All right, and they're off. So it's real easy to let this opening volatility trigger you to take trades and run and chase and jump in. That's not my style. So I like to let things settle, give it the first 3 to 5 minutes, depending on the price action and the volatility that I see, and we take it from there. So here is some intraday support here. Pre-market support, sorry. So we gotta wait until this thing sorts itself out. Yeah, WDC is selling. Here's this pre-market low right there. And it's attacking it pretty aggressive. Wow, that thing is gone. And GBX just took out its 52-week low. So that became my best friend. Depending on what it can do. That became my best friend. Let's see what we got. So we're about almost 4 minutes in. You know, my favorite is the 52-week low break. That's my favorite. So just like the 52-week high break, it may or may not hold. Because you got people that once it hits that, you know, they're going to buy. See what AMRN is doing. See, I am not not a fan of shorting into that on AMRN. Just not a fan of shorting into that. So Roku, all right, this one broke. Pop back up a little bit for me. We've got to wait. Remember, Roku, I'm going to wait on. I'm going to give it a little bit of room to sort itself out. I'm going to give it a couple of minutes. I don't see anything else looking. All right, I'm getting Roku now. I gave it a couple of minutes. Looks like it's gonna sort itself out. It is pretty volatile, but gonna have to manage my risk. Okay, 87 is, not 87, 86.50 is the first target I want on this. 85.52 is the 50. I can't mark it on here yet. We don't see it. But I want to see it get through 87 and then do 80. But this is really volatile. But I had to give it some time to make sure we weren't going to run away. It still can pop and run away from us. It can still do that. If 87.50 holds and we can't get to 87, you know, it may bump and run. But, you know, if it goes against me, I will take it off and reset. I'm not going to hold it and hope. I'm going to take it off and then we'll reset later on. I do not have a problem doing that. I learned my lesson last week. So we're getting close to the stop point here. Now, I really want to see it close below this opening range low. But it looks like they don't want to let it do it. They want to close it back above it. And that's going to hurt us. So that's breaking our back. That is breaking our back. Yeah, I think we're done on this. Gonna have to sit back and wait. We're really close. 88.25 is the line in the sand. So we're really close. Really close. I don't like the way the deviation band has closed up. Man, we just don't have anything to the downside, man. I just don't have any selling pressure right now. We don't have the selling pressure we need. If we can get it, it'll be fine. But it's got to sell through this 87.50. There is a, we've got some support in through here that's built in, some intraday support around this 50 is not allowing it to crack that. And it's not, this is stuff you can't see. Your strategy hits, you trade it, but you don't know what's going to happen once you get in. You trade your edge, and it's up to the market. Just stick to your plan. Because I think I've proven over and over again, without a shadow of a doubt, that if we take losses and we take them well, we manage our risk, in the end we're still going to be profitable. We just have to trade our setups. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We move on to the next. Yesterday was a prime example of that. First trade, for whatever reason, didn't work. It didn't work. So we closed it out. I managed my risk. We moved on to the next one, and I was able to make some money. This will be the same way. All right, I'm out. So for some reason, we could not get below this 87.50. It would not let it go. So if it does turn around, if it does give us another opportunity, then I'll be ready for it. But right now, I don't see anything opening up right now. I really don't. And whoever was down there really got pissed off. They really got pissed off. There's a 5-minute opening range high up here around 89.31, which is above everything except for that 100 right there. You look at AMRN, this one didn't do anything either. Got stuck right here on the 100. So that's why I said if we broke the 5-minute opening range low, which was right here, I couldn't short it because it would be right into the 100 period. So I couldn't short it. Let's go back to GBX. This one, we don't have a whole lot of volume on this. Not enough room for me to trade this. Again, just not enough room. I can't really trade it until we lose the 52-week low. No, all we're seeing right now is just basically scalp moves. We're not seeing any real follow through on anything right now. And nothing. WDC is running into the 200 up here. Yeah, again, there was no way I could have traded these because there wasn't enough clean area. Now, if we establish over the 200 here, say we pull through it and we pull back and hold, I could look to buy off of that, but I need to see the volume maintaining. So what I'd have to see on this is it to bounce and then pull back, hold the 200. I can buy it off of that. The AMRN I can't get. I would look under here. That would be, it would have to lose this. And you see this is the pre-market low, and it's supported by the 100 period on the 5-minute right here. Yep, that's bouncing. Got WDC is pulling back a little bit now. Yeah, nothing's really doing anything for us at the moment. It's not really doing anything. All right, so AMRN, we get established over this. This is what concerns me here. All of this in here, this pre-market resistance, where we butted up against it here, came back here. That's what concerns me about trying to take this long. Right now, it just seems like everything's caught in between support and resistance. And unless you want to scalp with, pretty decent size, the trades don't make sense.
AYI.
All right, so we had to pull back and we kind of held. So we want to see, can we break over? Can you break over the high of this candle? It doesn't look like it has enough in it to do that. So we're waiting AMRN for me to be a player. It's got to get over this. It's got to get over this here. All right, let's see what it's going to do. All right, so Roku may be trying to set up going the opposite way. But again, it's just a lot of stuff above it. To me, it's not worth the risk. This was well worth the risk because we had a clean move all the way down to 85.50. So that was well worth the risk. But going long, I'm not 100% sure on. Yeah, pretty sloppy market. You can tell, you can see why I take vacation this week. This is the week that I really like to take vacation. Because it is a tough week to squeak out some trades here. But the thing is, if you get mad, it's like if I get mad and irritated, I may miss a good secondary setup. But just because I lost or the first trade I took didn't work out, I'm not going to continue to watch and try to force anything just to try and make money back. I'm going to wait. I'm going to be patient. And we'll see what comes our way. Yeah, see, it's pulling back in. It's not going anywhere. It's why you just can't anticipate anything on these trades. Nothing. You gotta wait.
Coming up, IBD tip economic optimism.
All right, Benzinga Charlie, you're just a little bit too loud. And guys, being patient, waiting for your setup, not trying to force a trade.
RVLV.
If you took a loss early, these are things you have to get down. This is the discipline that you have to endure. Doesn't matter if somebody's calling out a trade. If it's not part of what you do, it doesn't fit your strategy, you sit on your hands.
July IBD tip economic optimism index 56.6 versus 53.2 in June.
Having a hard time seeing any volatility or any push on this. That's why I didn't jump in it. Just like I was saying, it's got to go. It's got to come back and retest
it. Contract with Convex Group Limited, WINS. Russia's Energy Minister Novak says current oil price is good result. Sees 2019 oil demand growth at 1.1 to 1.2 million barrels per day.
And also take a look at what the market is doing today. Look at that. It's not doing anything. We had, once it opened, we're done. We need something to come in and move this thing. Some type of event. Else we're going to be stuck. We're going to be stuck in a rut all day long. Here comes Roku. But I want to see it up against this 50. I can't buy it in through all this. I just can't do it. And I'm not going to start that precedence. Buying it into all this resistance. So we just need a clean move on this. We just broke over the 52-week high. I mean, not 52-week, the 5-minute opening range high. We just broke over it. We've got the bounce here, which was pre-market resistance. Here. We tapped it 3 times in pre-market. And we're breaking through it here.
White House trade advisor Navarro says on CNBC interview, we're headed in a very good direction in China trade talks. Says previous trade talks are a basis of current negotiations. It will take time to get it right.
Let's take.
Shares of Apple at the high, 202.84.
We just had a little bounce in the market here. A little bounce in the market. So we got one more hour in the morning session. At least for me. My morning session runs till 11:30. But it looks like the volatility
Hearing Coinbase is down.
has left the building. See, we're seeing some profit taking here once it hit 52-week low.
BX, Blackstone shares selling off here, Bravo X-Ray. I don't know. It's still hanging around here. CC, Charlie Shamor, October 25 call sweep, currently 21.27 on CC.
I don't think that's doing anything. Roku is still holding up, but we've got that 100 to deal with, so I'm looking at it. But looks like GBX, they're holding it up, and you typically see this when you get around 52-week lows, 52-week highs. You see the rejection at the high. You see the bounce at the lows. You have people holding it up because they know if they let it go, if you let a 52-week low goes, but we'll see. I don't want to look at scalp moves. You see WDC kind of did what we thought it was going to do. It kind of gave up. It could not hold a 200. Never could push and make, higher highs. So we are pulling back. Yet the problem is, the reason why you didn't see a whole lot of selling is because when it hits 52-week low, it turns into a buyable event. A lot of people who were short waiting for it to hit, this is where they're going to take profit. So it turns into a buyable event. Now, once the profit takers are out, if there are enough sellers that want to take it on a 52-week low break and see how low you can go, they'll be coming in if there's enough. If not, you're going to have the bounce players taking over, because there's not going to be enough sellers to take these guys out, and they'll be buying the bounce. Or reversal, or however you want to look at it.
White House trade advisor Navarro says he hopes Fed will lower interest rates going forward.
WDC, it will have to lose all of this. It will have to lose the 20, the opening range high, the VWAP. Under here, yeah, I'd be looking for a short. But it would have to establish under there. And see, we stuck our toe in the water this morning. It was a little bit too cold. We couldn't get the sell. Let's see what WDC does.
Zscaler, July 26, $90 call sweep near the ask at 50 cents, currently at 77.65. That's Zulu Sandy.
You're right, Matthew. Last week, if I'd have had that same mindset last week.
MDJH halted on a circuit breaker.
I'll be jumping on that AJT ass kicking machine and kicking myself in the butt over and over and over and over. So we weren't going to go through that again. Yeah, watching him and burning those concepts in your mind is what really helps. You got to burn those concepts in your mind. No, I haven't looked at it yet. I'll probably look at it at lunch and make an assessment on it. I probably will though, based on what I saw pre-market. But
UWT.
unless it stopped me out already, I haven't looked.
DJH resumes trading now after being halted on a circuit breaker. $4.65.
I'm curious to see if any stock can blow
Company
through,
announcing that it had renewed its
it'll be Roku.
primary real estate agency services contract with Tianjin Binhai New City Investment Company. That was earlier this morning.
Yeah, that's why I like to read books more than one time. I watch videos more than one time because you always miss something. And what you need now may not be what you need three weeks from now, 4 weeks from now.
UWT.
You may get the other message. All right, so we are watching WDC. This is the only clean move that I'm seeing. And again, there's no guarantee that this would even work under the VWAP. I mean, there are no guarantees here. But based on the price action, based on what I'm seeing, it's looking weak. The lower deviation band is starting to roll over a little bit, which is telling me we're getting some selling pressure coming in. That's what I want to see. So I don't want to buy on the initial break. Sell on the initial break just yet. I want to give it some time to see how it's going to react. And you see, looking at the 2-minute candle, you could kind of see how it's reacting here.
AAPL, Apple, Bloomberg reporting Apple facing third Irish data privacy investigation. That's AAPL.
Oh, come on, candle. You can't finish. You can't close soon enough.
Irish Data Protection Commission investigating whether Apple users have sufficient data access rights. That's AAPL, Apple.
Apple. Apple.
UWT.
My apple. Apple is good enough for me. My apple. My apple. Yeah, WDC has been strong, but it's showing weakness today. It is showing some weakness here. No, it could not get back above. I mean, this is clear weakness. So 30 more seconds for this candle to close. See if it's going to close below VWAP. I don't want this to be a scalp move, so and it looks like the daggum 47.68. God dog it. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna. I think we might bounce here because the deviation band, the VWAP deviation band, showed some buyers coming in. Because it was starting to curl back over, and then it started pushing back up again. So this is why I don't buy on the break. I always wait. I wait for this thing to go back and test, because you don't know, this test can bring in people and it just gets bought back up to the moon. So I got to see a lower low. On this, I got to see a lower low. Once we got to close.
UWT.
ROKU, Roku at the high, 89.89. ROKU.
Yep, there's Roku. It just broke. Had a little flag here. It just broke over the 100 here. So the question is, do you trust Roku? Again, even though we broke over the 100, I would not be comfortable buying it until we got through the 100. And then you got a clean chart up to the 200 here. See, we didn't make a lower low. We're going back, retesting all of this. Then we test and reject. And we still see some weakness. But as long as this is creeping up, as long as that lower VWAP deviation band is creeping up, not touching it. Not touching it. See, it's all about staying safe on the days that aren't giving us the best of move. It's all about staying safe. So now we broke over the 200 on the 2-minute. This is typically when this lines up with another major moving average on the 5-minute, you typically have some issues.
NIHD, November India Hotel Delta, 2.9 million share block at $1.65 below the bid. That's NIHD. November India Hotel Delta. TM, Toyota Motor, reporting June 2019 sales of 202,352. That's down 3.5% for Tango Michael.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, AMRN is breaking out. But don't think it's going to be that big of a breakout. And just maybe the pullback on
GSC
Roku.
scalar following that call activity, hitting new highs, 78.64.
This may be the pullback on Roku that we're looking for to test 100. I don't know. It's not coming back.
That was the July 90 call.
But it's
earlier now. Shares hitting 78.75 at the high, up almost 3% now for ZS.
But it's sitting on the 200 at this point.
OXBR, Oxbridge halted on a circuit breaker at $1.40. Oscar X-Ray Bravo Romeo.
Man, I see a lot of fakes out here. A lot of easy ways to lose your money today. You see, look at WDC. I mean, this made you want to take it. Inexperienced traders would have shorted it here on the break of VWAP. But this is a trap I see set day in and day out. Unless we get a lower, and even now, if it makes lower lows, it still, a lot of times it still turns into a trap, but not as often. This right here, this is exactly why you don't want to jump in something on the break of a level. The only time you really see me do that is opening range. Other than that, I stay away from it. And now these guys are starting to play with it. This is summertime trading at its finest. And developing the patience and the discipline during the summer will pay big dividends when the market comes back around. You know, we got 2 weeks before earnings starts kicking off, and you want to have your mind right. Because that month will be probably the best money making opportunity we're going to get during this summer. All right, so this is the bounce I was looking for here. See if it's going to hold.
Spiking to the high, 29.72 now.
And the market's popping. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Here's my concern on Roku, though. The upper deviation band is at 90, right in here. And it's not ticking up. So I'm concerned about that. Anything is strange in the market. Anything can happen. All it takes is one person with enough clout, or a group of people, with enough capital.
OXBR resumes trading now after a circuit breaker halt. Off the highs now $1.31.
Yeah, they can, whatever they want to do with it. If they want to move the stock down, they got enough money, they can do it. And it doesn't matter what the technicals say or the fundamentals say. None of that matters. Yes, I mean, it's weird. It's odd. You're going to see a lot of odd things. All right, so now you can see this WDC failed to hold above the 100. It couldn't push the 100 or this level here. So now we're back trying to get below the VWAP. But take a look at the trend. This is where your analysis of price action is going to pay dividends. Take a look at the trend. Where are we heading? As long as that trend is in play, there's no trades on this. So we're going to sit here. Yeah, I've been watching GBX, but it's caught in a web too.
GM reporting total U.S. Q2 vehicle sales deliveries of 746,659. That's down 1.5%. Golf Michael estimates company's Q2 retail market share was even with a year ago.
Yeah, I didn't want to take this long either because of everything it had to go through to get there. And I just wasn't looking for any of these smaller moves here.
Shares of GM pulling back here now.
Look at, they keep dipping this thing below the VWAP, but it's still holding an uptrend.
DGLY, Digital Ally Patent News on that. Delta Golf Lima Yankee.
All right, so this is back up to 9013. Now, for me, this is worth the risk if we close above this 100 and we start to make a new high above it, then to me, that's worth the risk of buying this. And I will be looking for it to test this 200 up here. where is my WDC? Is it breaking trend? Absolutely. Absolutely. It's trying to. It's trying to. But support is holding it up. Support is holding it up. Yeah, I'll be so ecstatic. All right, I just don't see anything else. The volatility is just not here. It has gone home. It'd be nice if we could find another setup like we did on Roku yesterday, that we could trade that into the close. But even with the market bumping a little bit,
MSCX, company's
Don't
COO
see
retires, Richard Rosaldi. Michael Sandiego X-ray.
same reason I wait for the breakdown on anything else. I'm day trading. I'm not swing trading this, so the long-term trend doesn't mean anything. What I see today is a huge gap down and the inability to push through key levels of resistance. So you've got people defending it, but eventually they're going to lose.
GEVO at the highs now. $2.11. Golf Echo Victor Oscar.
This has crept up. And it is still climbing.
David Faber now tweeting an early report. DOJ pushing for more concessions from T-Mobile as the divestiture deal with Dish draws near. That's from David Faber.
Bum, ba-dum, bum. Ba-dum, bum, bum. Yep, it's trying to break down for me. Alright, my finger is on the trigger. My finger is on the trigger. See, one more minute in this candle. But I'm almost at gold. 48.30. We just can't seem to get there. We get close, but not quite. All right. What are we going to do? you gonna do? Are you gonna trigger me? Or are you gonna keep playing games? Are you gonna trigger me, or you're playing games? Yeah, Roku is on its break. Are we gonna get it, or we're not? Nope.
TBPH, Theravance popping here, 1741. Tango Bravo Papa Hotel.
All right, Nathan, you too. Have a good one as well. Yeah, that one didn't trigger.
Shares of Yandex getting a pop here. YNDX 3964. Sweep in the January 45 call on YNDX.
Nice push on Roku. This is what we were looking for it to do. Hit 91. That's exactly what we were looking for it to do. It's probably going to get to the 200. And meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'm sitting here. This thing showed some real good weakness, but that's twice. It's baited. So the third time's got to be the charm. It's done it twice, so third time has to be the charm. We put in a lower low this time. We did put in a lower low this time, so and my finger was on the trigger, but it just did not trigger. I'm glad it didn't.
ZSC scalar getting another pop here, 79.34 after that call sweep activity earlier. Lou Sandy.
Yeah, I don't think WDC is going to break down. I think it's lost its chance. Unless things we get some selling pressure coming in. I just don't see it. And maybe they're waiting. Maybe they're lying in wait. I don't know. But I want to get in this. If I get in it, I want to get in it before I go to lunch.
ZS, Z-scalar, another sweep here now. January 75 call sweep in ZS. Zulu Sandy. CY, Cypress Semiconductor, 2 million share block at 22.31.
All It's about lunchtime for me. I'm gonna grab some of this here. Wait for this candle to close. Wait for the next one. No, I'm not gonna grab any. I don't like this. We're creeping up. All right, so it's lunchtime. Lunchtime for me. We'll see if something pops up coming into the afternoon. This is typically the slowest week in the year, specifically for me, and the stocks that I trade. Now, I don't trade the lower price, lower float runners. I don't typically trade those. So this is the slowest week in terms of earnings. It's the slowest week.
SEEL, Cielos Therapeutics receives notice of allowance of U.S. patent for SLS005 in new indication of Friedreich ataxia. That's SEEL.
Yeah, it's the slowest in terms of volatility and
Fed's Mester says
volume.
Too soon to say what happens next with rates. If outlook weakens, case may be there for rate cuts. Says weak inflation may be tied to structural issues. Cutting rates could send counterproductive signal on outlook. Rate cuts now could create financial imbalances. Mester says most likely the economy will stay on strong growth path. Risk to outlook have risen. Trade issues part of rising risk to outlook. Mester says steady rates may still aid return to 2% inflation target. Mester continues to expect inflation to move back to 2%. Comments from Fed's Mester.
All right, so I'm gonna go grab some lunch and come back. We'll see what's gonna happen coming out of lunch. See if we have an opportunity to put some money in the bank, or if not, we'll just have to wait until tomorrow.
SEEL, CLO's getting a spike in volume on that patent headline.
You probably want to keep an eye on GVX because their conference call is starting. I think it started right now at 11. Let me verify that. Yeah, their conference call just started here at 11. So keep your eye on it. You may pick up some volatility coming out of the conference call, so you want to pay attention to it. All right, guys, thank you for hanging out with me today on YouTube. Sucks we couldn't get a whole lot going today, but this is typical. Markets in the summer. Some days are going to be slow, and this is the slowest week. So I'm going to come back after lunch, going to see if there's any moves or anything that we can trade coming out of lunch. If not, we'll pack it up. We'll come back tomorrow. But being able to survive the summer is all about discipline and patience. Not blowing your account up chasing stuff. And that's what we're doing. We're gonna manage our risk and take smart trades. So you guys have a great rest of the day. Enjoy your holiday. And until next time, you guys be safe.